As someone who grew up being labeled ugly in my teen and my entire 20s, there's no surprise why I severely lacked self-confidence. It started off being not confident about how I look, but confidence, or the lack thereof in this case, can sometimes work like a virus and soon is spread to other areas in my life, such as my relationship, my decision-making skills, my career and social life. The lack of self-confidence can make us feel like we fail at everything. We have no drive or no direction. It can make us feel uneasy, inferior to others, and bitter about other people around us. And yes, my friends, I personally can relate to all of these negative feelings because I had those before. And this is why I want to talk about confidence today, because I feel like if you just change one thing, your level of confidence, it can have a huge payoff, because by becoming more confident can have a positive impact to other areas of your life. And confidence for me doesn't mean that you have to be the loudest person or the most outgoing person in the room. The true inner unshakable confidence that comes from within is way more attractive, way more sustainable, and the thing that we need to strive for, rather than just faking or appearing to be confident when you're actually not. Many people will tell you to fake it until you make it, but I feel like by doing that, you're not really getting into the bottom of the problem. There is a reason why it is called fake it until you make it, and not fake it and then you will make it. Just by faking or pretending to have something or be someone doesn't mean that you will eventually acquire it. I mean, if it works for you, then I am really happy for you. But personally, I'm someone who tried many times for years to fake being confident, but I never really felt truly confident from within. And the way that I changed myself from being severely lack of confidence to being a much more confident person now, I did it by separating confidence into two layers. And I don't hear people talk about this, so this may come across as very new, so bear with me. But trust me, once you get this, you'll be able to work on your confidence in a much practical way. And the first level is the level that I like to call the surface level. This is linked to the external world, how other people perceive us, how we come across to the world, and what we have achieved. Some example of the lack of confidence in this level is public speaking, going on a date, having conversations with strangers, dancing, or not being confident at the gym. Basically, these can be tackled by acquiring new skills or by taking actions. And I think it's really important to talk about this layer of unconfidence because it's so easy to fix. For example, if you're not confident speaking publicly, all you need to do is taking a public speaking course, and then you'll almost entirely eliminate that unconfidence. Or if you're someone who's never been confident to dance on the dance floor at parties, then learning a skill, dancing skills, can really help you with that. This was actually something that I did and implemented myself as a girl growing up. I always loved watching people dancing, but I never really knew how to dance, so I was never being that confident person dancing on a dance floor. And it wasn't until I took salsa dancing class, and now I can dance confidently at any parties, any weddings. The second layer of confidence or lack of confidence is more deep-rooted. And in order to fix this, it is going to require more effort because it's heavily linked to self-acceptance, self-love, self-esteem, basically how we view or think about ourselves. Now, skills alone cannot fix this because self-esteem, as you know, is pretty much linked to what has been our experiences in the past. It could be childhood trauma, the environment that we've grown up, the people that we've spent time with. You know, for me, being called fat and ugly for decades, it made me not feeling confident about my body, and I never actually wore any crop top up until my mid-30s because I was just not comfortable with myself, and there wasn't going to be any amount of skills or faking it that would help me feeling confident in my own skin. And I think the lack of social confidence sort of lies around this level. There is an element of skill that you can learn. For example, you can learn the skill to start conversations with strangers, or you can pretend by walking in with confidence, walking in like you own a room. But again, with social confidence, I think there's something deep down in us that we also need to fix in order to have that inner confidence that radiates out to the world. And social confidence is a whole topic in itself, so please do let me know if you want me to dive deeper into this. With that being said, so how do we actually become more confident? You really need to get clear about what is it that you're not confident about, because a lot of times certain things can be tackled or eliminated by just acquiring new skills or taking certain actions. Some of the things that help me tackling this level of lack confidence is to get out of the comfort zone, do the uncomfortable. As human, we are a creature of comfort. It keeps us safe, it keeps us feel familiar. But growth can only happen when you feel uncomfortable. You know, when I first started going to the gym, started lifting weights, I felt extremely uncomfortable because I was skinny fat and I didn't really have much muscles to begin with. So I felt like I couldn't really lift as much weights as other people. But then after sticking to it for a few weeks or a few months, the miraculous thing happened. I was able to lift heavier and I started to feel more comfortable going to the gym because I knew exactly what I was doing. So whatever skills that you need to acquire or action that you need to take, know that it is going to be uncomfortable at first, but over time it will become your second nature. And similarly to being uncomfortable, you also most likely will not be good. You have to suck at first before you get good. You know, if you go look at my first YouTube videos, they're not on this channel, but I'll pop them over here. The quality, like the sound, everything was rubbish, but I knew there was a skill there was something there that I could learn. You know, speaking in front of camera was actually one of the skills that helped me being confident. So I knew that I had to go through all the pain of being stuck before I get better at it. And because this level of confidence is heavily linked to taking actions, it's important to set out habits and routine that will help you working towards taking those actions and acquiring those skills. If you're someone who's single and need to date, however, you're not confident going out on dates because you don't know what you need to talk about, then you need to make it a habit to start conversation with people, to learn to have conversation with people, interesting conversation. Be interested in other people and what they want to talk about, because in order to be interesting, you need to be interested. However, if we go back to the example of you not being confident dancing, if you get clear about why you're not confident, and it turns out that okay, you have the dancing skill, you actually look great, but the reason that you're not confident is because you're just not confident in your own skin, you're not confident within yourself, you lack self-esteem, then you know it is going to require more work around your self-esteem, self-acceptance, and to trust yourself more. Before I move on, if you found any value in this video at all, then I would really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button so we can get connected and we can talk more about all things self-improvement. And when it comes to self-esteem, I can tell you that I did a lot of work on this for many years, and the tips that I'll be sharing with you today are the ones that I have implemented myself and the ones that really worked well for me. And the first thing is to look after yourself physically. I know before you say that I am being shallow, but the truth is our body and our mind are very connected. The body is connected to the mind and the mind is connected to the body, and the two are one. So however you feel physically normally will result in how you feel mentally. Since I've been on this fitness journey, eating better food, moving more, and I'm not talking about, you know, hitting the gym all the time, just moving more and get some physical activity in, I feel so much better about myself, and that radiates outside as confidence. Anyone that has gone through a fitness transformation journey or someone who has become healthier, you never hear them saying that they don't feel better. What I also stopped doing was also stop comparing myself to others. This was something that I used to do all the time, and when I started this self-development journey, I stopped doing that completely, and I saw a big change in my confidence level. Comparison I think in historic time used to be a good thing. You know, in the world without social media, one person may know 200 people in their lives. It was probably good to compare yourself with other people that you knew so that you can strive for being better, being a better human as a part of the community. However, with the world of social media right now, we are practically comparing ourselves with millions and billions of people. It is exhausting, and by doing that, we will never be content with ourselves because most of the time we don't really know ourselves very well. And that leads me to the next point, which is to get to know yourself better. You might think this is something that is so simple and everyone knows this, but I can tell you that most people do not know themselves. I didn't know myself, and it could be simple things like what I liked and I don't like. Most of the time in my 20s, I just followed the crowd, and whatever other people wanted to do, I would do it, although I didn't intrinsically like doing those things. So what I did recently was I had to rewire myself, and everything that I see, everything that I touch, or everything that gets offered to me, I ask myself, do I actually like this? For example, if someone offered me a white wine, I would go, actually I prefer Prosecco. Or if I watch a YouTube video seeing someone doing certain workouts and they say this is the best workout you can ever do to your body, but then when I try it and I don't enjoy it, then I stop doing it because there's no point doing something that I don't enjoy. And by getting to know myself better makes me feel confident in doing certain things, saying certain things, because I know myself. I know what I like, what I don't like, and what I want. Following your intuition and make decisions for yourself. When I lacked self-confidence and self-esteem, it was really difficult for me to make a decision for myself, whether that be big decision or small decision, because I didn't trust my own judgment. Something that I've been practicing and still practicing now, I find this really helpful, is to start making small decisions that I don't normally confident making. And then once I'm comfortable with that, then I move on to the next thing. For example, and this is going to sound very silly, but what I used to do was that I used to tell my partner what I was gonna do that evening, and instead of just telling him, I would end the sentence with, "Is that okay?" as if I was asking for his approval, when he never really asked me to do that. And his response was always, "Of course, there's no issue, you know, you go to the gym or do whatever you want after work." But I always felt like I couldn't make that decision for myself. I needed the approval from him that it was okay. And now I just tell him I'm going to the gym after work, and basically that's it. So a very, very small practice of decision making, and once I'm comfortable with that, then I move on to something bigger, something that related to my work. It may sound small, but I find trying and practicing decision making really helps me boosting my confidence and trusting my inner self more. If you're watching this right now and you don't think that you can gain that confidence, I can tell you that change is a choice, and if you choose to change, then you can. All these things that I've covered today should help building your inner unshakable confidence. But if you want me to go in deeper into social confidence, then do let me know in the comments and I can make a video about that too, because I think social confidence was something that I struggled for many, many years, and probably something that a lot of people are struggling to. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.